Alright, good morning everybody. I just came from Horny Tim's in town. Of course, that's not what this video is about. And I got myself a coffee. But, guess what? I haven't had any deer at my feeders for about a week now. And it's kind of strange. And I had my thoughts on what was going on because we still got a lot of snow up here. And it's still tough going for the animals up here, and it's cold at night. Well, I'll show you what I seen this morning when I just came back. I just came back from town, and I missed it going and have a look. Wolf tracks right there. And they're coming up, and they came up last night. That is a wolf right there. And you look, and you can see, look at the size of those tracks. Hopefully you can see them. He came right up the drive last night. Maybe two. Walking in each other's steps. There's possibly a pair of them right there. And they came up last night. And I seen their tracks around here a couple of weeks earlier. But back in the timber. And there you go. Right there. That's the wolves moving in to along the shelter belts where all the deer are yarded up for the winter. And they're coming in. And they're hungry. So what I'm gonna do, hopefully you guys can see, we got a prime example right here of a fox and a wolf track. So, whoop, there's a wolf track, you guys, and I brought a measuring tape. You can see he's almost exactly 3 inches in width, right there, 3 inches, almost 3 inches wide. And he's about, well, I'd say almost 4 inches long. So he's about 3 3/4 to 4 inches. So he's 3 by 4, his track right there. That is, and I'm going to say that is an Alqonquin or an eastern wolf up here in northeast Ontario. And I'm going to say that's not a gray or a timber, but it is an Alqonquin wolf, and they're up in this area. Now, there's going to be people, and there's biologists that can't even figure out the strain of wolves that are up here. But some call them red wolves, some call them Alqonquin wolves, and some call them a coyote hybrid, whatever. All I can tell you is they're probably damn near 1.5 times. And a big one might be double the size of a coyote, but 1.5 times the size of a coyote. And they're up here and they follow the deer all winter. And then now they're here because the deer are here. So, and let's have a look. And right, so you see the wolf track there, that was about 3 by 4 inches. Well, here's a red fox. Here's a little red fox. He comes up at night for some chow. And he is about 2.5 inches long, maybe 2 3/4, 2.5 by 1.5 to 1 3/4. So that's a little fox track right there. And he comes up every night. That's just the way they are. It's all kinds of fox. And so that there shows you, and look at the, just look at the stride difference. Hopefully you guys can get an idea. Go center to center on your pads. You're looking at about from the center of that fox track to the center of this guy, almost a foot in stride. So he's about 11 inches center to center on his stride on a walk. That's a walking track. 11 inches for a red fox. Now, let's do the wolf stride. Right there, center to center. So we got 20.5 inches. So we got 20.5 inch stride on a wolf right there, and you can see it. The big difference in the stride and the big difference in the paw size right there. 20.5 inches. So you can see they came in last night, and what we'll do is we'll just follow this. And they were here last winter. It's just Mother Nature. That's how it works. And it's, you know what? It's cyclical every season. Nothing changes. As long as the environment doesn't drastically change and nothing major goes on, This goes on every winter. Unless man gets in there and somehow screws something up in the environment, which he normally does. Okay, hold on. All right. So let's walk up here. Let's walk up the driveway a little bit here, and we'll have a little look at where this wolf went. I've got my suspicions where he went, and it's usually fairly accurate. And let's just go here. So you can see that big boy came up the drive, and then of course his tracks disappear into the tire tracks of the vehicle. But you watch. And the thing about a wolf and the thing about a fox, in snow like this, and when they're hungry, they're going to take the path of least resistance. So you pretty much know they're coming up the driveway here for easy walking and hunting, and they're going to hit my snowmobile trail. It's a given, and we'll have a little luck. So that big boy came up here last night. As soon as I come up the driveway this morning from town, I seen tracks. I go, I don't know what they are. I parked the truck and I came down because I knew. I had a pretty good idea. Something had came up here. Okay, so here we catch him again, right here. There he is again right there, and he's heading for the snowmobile trail, the path of least resistance. And you can see right there, he entered the snowmobile trail, and he's going up my snowmobile trail right there, and he'll be heading probably that left fork, and he'll be going on that snowmobile trail. But he probably will be jumping off that trail somewhere, and he will be hunting between here and the neighbors, most likely. There's probably 300 acres here between these 3 100-acre blocks, and where there's deer, and they're in here. So yeah, you can see right there. And if you look carefully on the snowmobile trail right there, you can see he's got enough weight to actually push through that packed snow and leave a good track. And look at that. Look how he pushes down on that snow. He's got some mass to him. He's pushing down on that snow, on that compacted snow. And that wolf coming up here, or wolves, a pair possibly, they will kill a fox and they will kill a coyote. This time of the year when wolves are hungry, they'll kill a dog, they'll kill a cat. Whatever they take, whatever they can get, and I don't blame them. You know why? Because it's cold winters up here and there's a lot of snow and they have to eat. That's just how it works. One thing I don't really like, even though I have my trapping license and I hunt, I don't do a lot of trapping, but I have my trapping license. But what I don't like is when society demonizes wolves. They demonize them, and you hear it time and time again. Well, guess what, man? Winters are long and they're cold, and them guys, like anybody else, are just trying to survive out here. If they got to pick a deer out and the population's low, or Montana or Wyoming, guess what? They're going to take elk. They're going to take elk, man. They have to eat. And these ranchers hate them, and these outfitters, they hate them out west and everything else. I read a lot about it. They cry about them in Alberta, and they shoot them from airplanes and everything else. But guess what? When you're hungry, you got to eat. That's just how it is. And I mean, you got to be fair and reasonable. That's just my belief anyway. And exactly as predicted, I never came back this far this morning. But you can see right there, you can see the outline of his track. And there again. So he headed back my snowmobile trail, the path of least resistance, and he may be working off the wind. He may come down that snowmobile trail and he may go several hundred meters in, but he may be working with the wind too, and he can smell whatever that's coming from the north. And that wind was coming out of the north. he'll swing around that snowmobile trail and he can distinctly smell for a long way about what's moving in this woodlot. And they're cagey and they're smart and they're powerful. But it just goes to show you, it also goes to show you guys that these wolves will come up close to a homestead at night, you know, and they're just looking for something to eat is what they're looking for. And using this driveway as a roadway. And I had my suspicions about the wolves being here. So I had my suspicions about the wolves being here, you guys, because I haven't had any deer touching that feeder for about a week now, and that's kind of rare. They do leave eventually when the snow melts down and everything. But for now, the snow is still relatively deep here. It's as deep as it's ever been. And the neighbor also told me over here that they seen some running deer tracks and deer tracks, like full bore with a massive jumping stride between the tracks. And deer will not waste energy running full bore like that for a long way unless something's chasing them. Mind you, you'll get coyotes running them too up here now, because there is the odd coyote. But it's the coyotes and wolves that those deer have to be careful of. And when you see a long strided deer track now, and it's running hard and it's pushing in this deep snow, you know it's up against something, and something is dogging it in the woods. And up here it's usually a coyote or a wolf. All right, I just thought I'd show you guys a short video on them wolf tracks. It happens every year, and that's just the way it is. So nice little outdoor video to show you the size of those wolf tracks, and they're in this area. Okay, thanks, bye.